Meet Dank DeMoss, a quote-unquote rapper out of Detroit who is at the middle of a controversy, and if you hadn't heard of it, here's the controversy here.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
What? For what? What you saying?
Yeah, I got no space in my car is small.
I can fit in this car.
But believe me, you can.
Yes, I can.
Believe me. So, I'm sorry.
What I'm gonna do about my money?
I'm gonna cancel you. You're not gonna be charged.
So you telling me I can't get in the Lyft because I can't fit in your car?
Yeah, you need to order a bigger car.
What makes you think I can't fit in the car?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
What makes you think I can't fit in this car?
Because the car is small for that.
My best friend has a Benz that's newer than this that I can fit in. That's the same size.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't.
So you really telling me I'm too big to get in your car, so I gotta order another Lyft?
Yeah. And to be more specific with you, I got very tired tires.
What I got to do with your tires?
Yeah, and you have no space.
How you know I don't have no space?
Yeah, I got no space in the back. Believe me.
How do you know I don't have no space?
Because I've tried before.
Huh?
Because I've been in this situation.
So every big person you turn down because they can't fit in your car?
Yeah, because they need to order the Uber XL. It's called.
Okay.
No, I don't never have to order an Uber XL.
Then I'm really sorry.
What's your name?
Abraham Carter.
Okay. Nope. What?
So that was the video there in question. She then apparently got in touch with the law offices, Get 'em, Got 'em, and Gone, and they have agreed to take on her case. They have agreed to pick up the tab, if you will. So, yeah, that's what's going on there. But you see, I had a different question. I actually had a difference of the questions because there's so many questions. But the biggest one in particular that I had was, where was she going when she called that Uber? Where exactly was she going? Well, did a little bit of digging because folks online don't really even look up these lawsuits for details. I did a little bit of digging and I found the actual lawsuit itself. And this is what the lawsuit says. Now, it's filed by Jonathan Marco of Marco Law. Shouldn't take you very long to figure out. He's the fella over there with the long hair over there on the right. He's the one who seems to be especially enthusiastic, so I guess he's going to make this law thing work out for him. Looks like these guys should be wearing tennis shoes and sweatpants because of all the ambulances they should be chasing. What? Yeah, it looks like they should be doing that instead, but in any case, they filed this lawsuit. And I want to read to you what it says here because I think it's very telling. All right, it says, now comes plaintiff Dowja Blanding. Anyway, she used to be on a reality show or something like that about rapping, which is okay. That part might not worked out. So let's see if we can get this other thing to work out here. Talks about the parties involved and the factual allegations. It says here that defendant Lyft is a ride-sharing company that offers transportation services. Once an individual requests and pays for transportation services from defendant Lyft, Lyft assigns a driver to provide the transportation. On or about January 18th, 2025, plaintiff paid defendant Lyft for transportation from her residence in Detroit, Michigan, to a football watch party at her cousin's house. So she was looking for a Lyft, if you will, because she wanted to take a trip to a football watch party. So this individual, who doesn't look particularly athletic, however, apparently is very interested in football. Okay. After approximately 10 to 15 minutes, defendant John Doe arrived on behalf of defendant Lyft in a Mercedes-Benz sedan. If it wasn't an S-Class, this ain't gonna work. If it wasn't an S-Class or a Maybach, this is not gonna work. As plaintiff attempted to enter the vehicle, defendant John Doe refused to let plaintiff enter his vehicle. Specifically, as plaintiff walked towards the vehicle, defendant John Doe locked the doors to his vehicle and attempted to drive away. Plaintiff was shocked and asked defendant John Doe what he was doing. You all saw the video. Defendant John Doe told plaintiff he could not let her enter his vehicle. Defendant John Doe informed plaintiff that she was, quote, too big to get into his car and that he was canceling her ride. So you already know the rest of the facts there. Defendant Doe said that she could not enter his vehicle because she was too big to fit in the back seat and his tires were not capable of supporting plaintiff's weight. Plaintiff told defendant John Doe that there was plenty of room for her in the back seat and she did not require a bigger car. Defendant John Doe told plaintiff that he, quote, had this problem in the past and told plaintiff that overweight individuals must order Lyft XLs. Defendant John Doe proceeded to cancel plaintiff's ride and drove off. As a result, plaintiff was unable to attend her cousin's party. As a result of defendant's actions, plaintiff has suffered and will continue to suffer damages, including but not limited to the following. Stress. Ma'am? Stress? You look like you handle stress pretty. Stress? All righty then. Stress, humiliation, embarrassment, outrage. Okay, we're just going through our thesaurus now. Mental anguish, fear and mortification. Not fear and comorbidities. Emotional damages, economic damages, non-economic damages, attorney's fees, and costs. Other damages to be discovered through the course of litigation. You can go down through the details and stuff there as well. But boy, oh boy. So all of this was because she allegedly wanted to go to a football watch party. Football watch party. Who was playing on the 18th? On the Saturday? Saturday the 18th, okay. Alrighty, I think, was Detroit still playing? Was that a Detroit game? Was that on Saturday? You all can go look up those parts of it there, but that's what she claimed happened. So for those of you who want to know exactly what she was doing there, that is the story. Now, here's the thing. Apparently, she claims that she's called Lyft a bit. Okay. She claims she's called Lyft a bit. She calls them all the time. Well, I wanted to look at a few things myself. And at the end of today's program, it will be very, very clear why it is that clearly women hate other women. Damn! They really do. They hate other women. They really do. And anything that they can do to reduce the competition, and smile, they will do it. This is where we're at today. So I went to her Instagram profile, and the first thing that sticks out, the third thing that sticks out to me. You go looking around here, and there were certain things that I noticed. Well, when you take a look at when she posts up on her Instagram, furthermore than the lack of a wide-angle lens, that doesn't look like a small vehicle there either. I mean, that doesn't look like a compact car. So there's the whole thing about it is she's not really doing compact vehicles. I can prove that. She doesn't really do compact vehicles. Here she was at the store, clearly loading up, so she's rather self-conscious, clearly. Health conscious, glad to see that. Does anyone know the whereabouts of the dog currently? If no one has seen the dog since, you might want to put out an APB, but yeah, has anyone seen the dog since? All right, here she is, another vehicle. I don't think it's a compact, although you can be forgiven for thinking she makes things look smaller, but yeah, I don't think it's a compact. Okay, so she likes to watch athletics, looking for inspiration. Okay, it could happen. Oh, well, take a look at this. Well, that's an SUV. Well, take a look at that. Oh, this was just back in December, just last month. So, well, there she is in a full-size SUV, looks like. Looks like an older thing, but it's got the handles on it. So, there she is, full-size SUV. Interesting. Wonder if we're going to see a pattern. Asking for a friend. Okay, she's out walking. Hopefully it's the beginning of a trend. Okay, she's performing. Very glad to see that. So she's got no short. Oh, what do you know? Oh, yeah, looks like another full-size SUV. Maybe the same one, but it's another full-size SUV. Well, in her daily life, she doesn't really, when she takes pictures on Instagram, she's not really doing compact cars or small vehicles. In her regular daily life, why she's doing full-size vehicles. Why, enough to fit folks in the front seat and the back seat. And boy, she's trying to work the hell out of those filters. And boy, the AI is doing overtime. Okay. I'm not doing it just to be my usual smart-ass self. I'm doing it to establish something that, by the way, couldn't help but notice in her regular daily life why she's doing SUVs. She doesn't do sedans. She doesn't do mid-sized cars. She certainly doesn't do compacts. She does SUVs. Now, I believe that this vehicle here, first of all, she's outside of Tim Hortons. Damn! So the people in Tim Hortons are probably in abject fear on the inside of her making her entrance. Cookie! Yes, sir, you've never seen so many food workers so terrified, so. Can you imagine having her make her way to the front doors? Yeah, I wonder what happened to Tim Hortons. Yeah, I wonder what happened to them. Now I think I know what happened. All right, now moving through her pictures here. She's got her Coach bag. Alrighty. Oh, there she is in that car again. Now, I recognize this dashboard. This is a circa 2020 Range Rover Velar. So this dashboard, I recognize it. I should. And based on the icons down here and the layout of the dashboard, and particularly this climate control dial down here in the lower left-hand corner. Let me see if you all see that. Yeah, down there in the lower left-hand corner. You can't see the other one on the right because the screen cuts it off, but this is a Range Rover Velar that she's driving. I know some of y'all thought she drove up in the U-Haul. But no, I have it on very good authority that she did not come driving the U-Haul. I don't know if that was the other Lyft, but No, she did not come in the U-Haul. She actually came in the Range Rover Velar. Hey, I didn't take the pictures. You gonna blame me? I didn't take the damn pictures. The jokes write themselves. Y'all gonna get upset with me and I didn't take the picture? Okay, she took the picture, but I'm the one in the wrong. Okay, now I know what the rules are. Okay. She took the picture, but Jason's in the wrong for noticing the U-Haul truck. Okay. Thanks for clarifying that the problem is actually me. All right. I'll see if I can keep myself in check. So there she is, and all right. So she's standing outside that Range Rover. So once again, it's a Range Rover. Once again, it's an SUV. Once again, it's an SUV. So she doesn't really... Okay, this is from her Instagram. Okay. Well, she can't say she don't know, so it's... All I can say is, well, she can't say she doesn't know. All righty then. She knows. Hey, folks, she knows. She knows. Okay, she's back. Okay, oh. She is putting them Michelins to the test. All right. Isn't she so ladylike? And this fella down here, this is what happens when dudes are fresh out the joint. Okay. Oh, did you see that ankle over here on the left? Did you see her left ankle? Oh, it went. And she is literally 500 pounds. 500 pounds of pressure on them little ankles. I'm not making jokes. She's the one who posted it. And you see the dog back here? Okay, I guess we know what happened to him. She talking about is the dog, why you ain't help your mama? What the hell the dog gonna do? The dog is like, hey, ain't no reason them both of us getting messed up today. Why does she keep posting her legs? Folks, there are mental issues. There's a lot of untreated mental health issues out there. There really are. There's a lot of untreated mental health issues. And then you go find a couple of lawyers who are like, hey, let us get a few shekels before something else happens here. So she's aware, once again, SUVs. Once again, she makes sure she stays by some SUVs. I just couldn't help but notice that in the course of regular course of events, oh, I think I found that Range Rover Velar. I think I found that Range Rover Velar. And by the way, I've already looked to match up the front bumpers. So the front grill bumpers, I've already looked to match that up. So yeah, I think I found that Range Rover Velar that we saw at Tim Hortons. So yeah, ordinarily, she ain't really doing no compact cars. Now, I'd like to see her try to fit in this one here. She just stand outside of it. But ordinarily, she's not really doing compact cars. So, okay. And then she tucked it up to give y'all a peek. So, she said, meet my driver, Kevin. Okay, Kevin showed up it's older there, but Kevin was like, okay, GM full size. This is a full size SUV. Looks like a GMC Yukon, looks like, judging by the front headlights. And so he comes to throw that thing open. Okay, what do you say? Rubber flow mats. Look at this comment here. Do you, big one? Okay. These are folks who hate women. They really do. So in any case, he brought the biggest full-size SUV he could. What I'm saying is that, do you see a pattern forming here, folks? In her daily life, she don't do compact cars or regular cars. In her daily life, it's all SUVs. In her daily life, it's all SUVs. So, how did she end up calling an... What? So many questions. So many questions. Just so many. Oh, this is defying the laws of morality, the laws of physics. I mean, the first thing I thought is Jack Spratt and his wife. That's the first thing I've got. So how do we end up here? How did they get here? I've got so many questions. So many questions. Maybe somebody can help me with some answers tonight, because I would love to know the backstory here. She said, niggas look so skinny next to me. Somebody on my Twitter said that her and Dave Blunts should get together and make an album called On the Couch. Damn! Yeah, they should make an album called On the Couch. Okay, I gotta click to see what else is in this album. Let me... All right, brother, you better watch that other arm. I'd hate for anything to happen to you. You better watch that other arm. I don't want nothing looking tasty. Okay, well. Alrighty then, but yeah, so, and I didn't just do this for the purposes of being a wise ass and cracking jokes. No, that's not the reason that I did this. I did this for a different reason. This is the disturbing part. The disturbing part is, take a look at all the women. It's practically all women. I mean, egging her on, hearts, fires. I mean, it's all women. They see this. We've been talking about the obesity issue among black women for 2 decades. They see this. And, I mean, just egging on. Oh, yes, this is the one for the girlies. Really? Really? Are these the Russian bots? The disturbing part is that every one of her posts, it is an army of females telling her how great she looks. I mean, everywhere. It is an army of women. All of them smaller than her, but by necessity. I mean, and they're just sitting there. Pull it back up, queen. This ain't cute. Love yourself and do better. Sometimes we need to hear the truth. Well, you had one who tried. You had one who tried, so. The females were doing their mostest. I love this color on you. What color? Stretch marks? What? More females, huh? Hot fire, huh? Well, I guess Tony Stark said, damn the phony emojis. Let me tell the truth. I just love your confidence. Okay, who the hell is this? I just love your confidence. What the hell? Take a look at all the females egging this on. I'm trying to get on the remix. Okay. Whoa. Oh boy. Okay, yeah, I gotta go take a look. She says she wants to get on the remix. Oh man. Can y'all imagine both of them in the booth? Okay. I'm just trying to imagine the two of them in the booth. Oh, can you imagine them on stage doing a duet? All right, so needless to say, all jokes to the side, this ain't funny, man. I mean, the jokes write themselves, but look at all of these females egging her on. Now, you let it be a man and somebody got a baby, they would descend on him like locusts. Take a look at all these females. Take a look at them encouraging her and egging her. They see the same damn picture you and I do, and take a look at what they're doing. They see the same damn thing that you and I see, and take a look at what they're doing. Now, of course, there's some dudes who, it's fresh out the joint. All right. But, nope, it's mostly females egging this on and talking about how great it is. The truth of the matter is that women today hate other women. She's way better than Sexy Red. Okay. Right now it looks like a foot race to me, pardon the expression. There's no way in the hell all these hoes, did he say hoes? I damn sure did.
And deal with it, nigga.
There's no way in the hell all these hoes don't see what you and I see. There's no way they don't see that. No way. They see it. They see it. Can I get some wings like damn thirst trap? Some of you fellas, y'all need to get off minimum wage so that you don't say things like this. What's going to happen next? I'm just trying to, okay, what is going to happen next? You just came here to make fun of her. She actually got in and her outfit reached the breaking point. Yeah. Folks, I mean, you got people sitting up here. So her outfit, that comforter she's wearing just finally gave out. This isn't me. This is her video. So it's okay. She just, I stretched it till it just said, oh, screw it, we gone. Okay, well, she's still in the water, so she didn't displace all the water, but folks are sitting up here loving that. Really? Yes, boo, do you enjoy? I don't just make that up because it sounds funny. When I talk about mental illness and emotional illness, you take a look at the chicks out here doing, they got a whole generation sitting up here defending this garbage. You want to talk about imbalanced? That's the part that's not funny. That's the part that's not funny. This is a damn disgrace. It's scary. Imagine this being your daughter. Imagine this being your niece. 500 pounds. What in the hell has to happen to you to get you there? Like, why didn't we hit the damn brakes when we were at 300? 500? $500. And then got folks sitting up here laughing it up and, oh, that's so great and you so beautiful. I mean, I guess it's a start. Well, that was July of last year. And certainly this is the best place to be. Like, damn that rap stuff. We need to be here every day. Okay, damn taking selfies. Okay, damn taking a selfie. Now she's at the gym, but she ain't doing no working out. She just taking selfies. What the hell? So she's at the gym. She ain't doing no exercise. She got to sit down. She's doing no exercising. She's at the gym and posts a bunch of pictures. Oh, look at me. And as if she's already at her target weight. And she ain't doing no exercising. Just taking selfies, adjusting her, what is this, a big gray sock? No, I'm not mocking anything. I'm just saying, by the way, if you get yourself into trouble, this will be you, and I'll be making jokes about your ass too. Yeah, I see them damn slippers she got. Those look like socks. They don't even look like no shoes. Forget about it. The Dr. Scholl's people don't make nothing like that. Miko, I'm going to have you call up when I put the Zoom on, baby. I'm going to have you call up when I put the Zoom on, Miko. I'm going to have you call up when I put the Zoom on. But take a look at all the hoes talking about she beautiful. That's the thing I want y'all to take a look at. Take a look at all the hoes talking about she's beautiful. All the drunk dudes, but all the females, she beautiful. She's beautiful. It's like, no. Rooting for her, okay. You're beautiful? Wait a minute. Don't do that. Because here's the thing, y'all. Are these females over there on Dave Blunt's page talking about you're handsome? Damn! Come on now. How many of these chicks are over there on Dave Blunt's page talking about you show is fine, kissy faces, heart emojis? How many of them? No, it ain't. Folks, no. Waist trainer me ass. No. She turned the waist trainer into a damn belt. If the Peterbilt people don't make it, it ain't gonna work. So just forget about it. Forget about it. She just fooling herself. Waist trainer. It's barely covering what's left of her rib cage. So it's no. No. Yeah, she done turned the damn waist trainer into a headband. I mean, it's just, forget about it. I'm not just making jokes. What I'm saying is she's supposed to be in there doing something, and this what she doing is bull jiving. Can you imagine? Oh, then she took the flip flops off, whatever. Her took the house shoes off. Okay. Somebody said waist trainer, W-A-S-T-E. She done took the shoes off and said, okay, I'm sitting down. And by the way, one more thing. The place is empty. Ain't nobody in there. So she can't say she's self-conscious. They left the whole damn gym to you. Time to get it in. And she just said, okay, well, let me take a picture and some video and another picture. Ooh, she got tired of standing. all this working out, standing, holding this camera. Okay, let me sit down. Let me sit down and let me stay seated. Okay, workout over. Yeah, it was a tough day today. Workout over. You want to know what the damn problem is? Here it is.
I hope I'm not mistaken, but I could have sworn, like you said, like don't get it messed up just cause you feel me. I'm a little big, like they.
A little. Niggas need to quit saying goofy stuff like a little. A little? The hell are you talking about? That's not a little. £500, there's nowhere in physics where 500 pounds is a little.
Like they be in my DM, you feel me?
Oh, look, these niggas love me. These niggas be eating my pussy from the back on my all black sheets. I ain't gonna lie.
What? Damn! Nigga, please. Alrighty then. Boy. What? Intervention!
Y'all, my apologies. I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming. My apologies. Did not see that one coming. At all. What does that THHL stand for? What the hell does that stand for?
These niggas love me. Don't, I swear to God, don't get it twisted. They love me. I swear to God, they do. They do. They do. I ain't, look, I'm private, so I ain't even gonna, you know, they love me. They love me real bad, you know.
From the back on the all black sheet.
She is beautiful. Do you, this heifer here, I want you to understand that. This chick here, assuming that's her real profile photo, this chick here is talking about this one here is beautiful. Did anybody push back on that? I agree. So all these other females, y'all both lying, at least there's got to be a fella that's saying that. The females are the ones telling her that she's beautiful. Females that don't look a damn thing like her, because that takes work. That takes work and effort. Yeah, this chick here is telling this one here that she's beautiful. Don't y'all see females hate other females? They hate them. She got 101 likes and she's got 2,600. So when I say females hate other females, they'll sit there and lie to your damn face. This why, ladies, this is why we as men don't want y'all to say a damn thing about another chick got a cute face. You all lie so much. You can see what the hell going on here. Talking about she's beautiful. How? I believe her and she real pretty too. She's so pretty. What the hell? These gotta be Russian bots. Her confidence is amazing. Really? This chick here is talking about how amazing the... Folks, mental illness is a real thing. It is a real thing. That's all I got to tell you. It is a real thing. All right. Okay. One time. Oh, let me turn the music off there. Okay. Well, y'all so pretty. Thank you. All right. So when she's like, yeah, it's... Imagine being able to fit in the Mercedes. It's okay. Has she been working out or? and just take a look at the female comments. Take a look at them. Face card never decline. Take a look at them. Take a look at all the females here. Take a look at all the females cheering her on, co-signing it. If anybody felt something register on the Richter scale back on July 27th of last year, now you know where it originated from.
Damn!
Yes, if you felt some sort of rumbling on the East, if anybody felt in a rumble in Detroit back on July 27th, now you know where it came from. Take a look at all the females. That wig looks good on you. Do y'all remember back when a female used to be ashamed to have a wig? Now they're talking about, well, that wig look good on you. Okay. April the baddest. More like April the worst. Well, thank you, Valerie, for at least standing up for rationale. Can you believe this psycho here? Okay. But, yeah, look at the females who love it. Look at the females who love it. Then they'll come complain about the men. They'll talk about the men. They'll sit up here and say, the men want this. They'll say that the women ain't egging this on. It's the men doing this. I did this for a reason. I did this to demonstrate something. This isn't funny, ma'am. This is not funny. They don't look like drumsticks. They look like the Michelin Man. They don't look like drumsticks. They look like croissants. They don't look like drumsticks. Pigs in a blanket, maybe. Not drumsticks. Wrong meat. I'm not doing this simply to be an ass, even though we all know I am. I'm doing this to demonstrate to you here, if you don't keep control of things, you could end up the worst case scenario. She's literally every red flag that can exist. I don't know if she has children. If she does, they're trapped.
Damn!
If she ever did get pregnant, they probably got trapped. But haven't seen any kids. But other than that, chest tattoos, weaves. What is this? Yeah, Hottentot Venus, this thing about lampooning black women, mocking black women, when you find a black female with severe deficiencies, severe dysfunctions, and folks sit there and laugh like it's cute. That shows a hatred. No, I'm not joking. I'm serious. That shows a hatred. You wouldn't do this with anybody else. You wouldn't be sitting there doing that. This wouldn't be cute with nobody else. And you see, imagine this is your daughter. Imagine this is your niece. I got nieces. I'm catching charges all in this damn building. I got nieces. This is ridiculous. And the only time you sit up here and cheer this stuff on and act like it's funny and it gets, quote, supported. I mean, literally nothing she wears can get past the first fifth of her back. Nothing she wears can get past the first fifth. Everything is like a shirt that's only halfway put on. The only thing these people need to be doing is taking her to a diet. They don't need to be sitting there singing along with her. And these are not your friends. Hell, they're not even your fans, man. All of us knew there were big problems with Big Pun. When we saw him, we were like, hey, this ain't good. Every one of us who remembers Big Pun, we all remember, hey, man, this ain't right. This ain't good and this ain't right. We all knew that was a hell of a problem. This kind of stuff right here where you act like it's okay, a bunch of fit people are standing around her. She's single-handedly throwing off the BMI average in that room all by herself. What are we even doing here? What are we even doing here? If you do not do the job of adequately conditioning your children, if you do not do the job of keeping them in touch with reality, if you don't do the job of teaching them when other people are just lying to you, other people, folks, there's a basic thing you need to teach your children from a young age. Other people will sit here and cheer you on as you destroy yourself. Other people will sit there and laugh and smile while you destroy yourself. They'll sit there and laugh and cheer. Those of you who got children, I hope that's one of the things you're teaching them is, by the way, baby, you can't hang out with everybody because some folks will walk up and directly fight you. Other folks will get you in trouble because of what they're doing. And then there are other folk who will get you in trouble by egging you on to do something you shouldn't be doing. They'll sit there right there and see you destroying yourself and be laughing. They won't be saying or doing a damn thing to stop you. They're just going to sit there and laugh. Those are not friends. Those aren't friends. You don't sit there and see your friends going out like this and you sitting there cheering. You don't do that. I did this tonight because I wanted you all to see that the story behind the story here is, do you see how other people will capitalize on your deficiencies? They won't try to help you. They'll just try to capitalize on it. Everywhere she goes, it's a bunch of people trying to see if they can make $2 extra off the obese chick. You so dope. No, you're the dope. Nobody told her that folks will do you like this in groups, in mass, in crowds, in throngs. Folks will sit there and laugh and cheer. They'll cheer you on to annihilate yourself for their amusement. For their amusement. These folks are laughing. They are amused at this. Let me tell you something. Do you know what the hell the sickness is of the cell phone era? And we've all seen it. There's always some ignorant, bug-eyed jackass sitting around with a cell phone when something horrific is happening. There's always somebody with a cell phone recording something terrible happening. And they're sitting there and talking and cheering and squealing and wanting to bring attention to themselves because of that. There's always somebody sitting around recording your dysfunctions, recording your failures, recording your self-destruction. There's always somebody recording the mess happening and laughing. We all know the old paradigm about the females who'll egg two males to fight each other over her, and then inevitably one of the guys kills the other one, and she loves the attention. So you lied to these two fellas, you got them fighting each other over you, both of them X themselves out, and then you go diddy bop your ass on down the street to the next one. That's a predator. Well, when you have a situation like this with folks entertaining themselves at your expense, you surrounded yourself with predators. You're surrounded with predators. They're sitting there laughing, and if you don't show up tomorrow because you're dead and gone, they're going to spend about 5 minutes saying damn or getting online acting like they knew you well. And then before noontime hits, they're going to move on to the next distraction, the next entertainment. That's what they're going to do. You're entertaining to them just so long as you're there, and the minute that you're no longer there for whatever reason, they move on to the next one. You are easily disposed of or consumed, if you will. You have to teach your children, folks. You have to teach them. Otherwise, you end up with sick daughters. You end up with sick children. They grow into adulthood. If they're lucky, they will, but they grow up sick. And that's your name, your bloodline, your legacy. That other people will proudly sit there and cheer on and clap. You're so dope. Sexy AF. Looking so fine, boo. Yes, I love these dumps. OM dumps. You can be big and beautiful. Do you see this sick lying heifer here? You want to know what's wrong with female culture today? This is what's wrong. You take a look at her, and she comes over here. You can be big and beautiful. Why wear clothes like that? The problem is not the damn clothes. You can wear something that will be more flattering for your size. What would that be, ma'am? A billboard?
Damn!
A hot air balloon? The tarp they covered the Super Bowl field with? What do you think? What are you talking about? What is she going to wear that's, quote, more flattering? What the hell are you talking about? What in the hell is she going to wear that's more flattering? When you got other people around you talking crazy like this. One lone voice in the distance. Your health be for real. From Nigeria, I guess he got tired of the money scams. He's like, look, any old way out of here. Miss Miracle Worker loves it, fire. Nikki, you is it, girl. The females are sitting here in unlimited numbers coming back to cheer this on. Women hate other women. They despise other women. This is them literally laughing because they know that they're just knocking off their competition. They're cheering her on because she's no threat to them. Yeah, baby, you just go ahead and do that. That just one more eliminated. That's how cutthroat things are today. The females today are so cutthroat that they'll egg you on to knock yourself out of the competition. She's like, okay, there's one more I ain't got to worry about. Long as you build like that, there's nobody that these women would want to have that she's going to be in contention for. If you do not properly raise your sons and daughters, then what you end up with are children who are easy prey to everyone around them, easy prey to individuals who can see their dysfunctions, easy prey to folks who see how to take advantage of it, and folks know how to take advantage of it all the time. They have exploitation down to a science. And they will not try to help your children if you don't raise them properly. They're not going to try to help them. They're going to be like, hey, let me get mine before they die. I mean, that's how serious we are right now. Let me see what I can get out of you before you die. Let me see how much I can extract from you before you die. I mean, you're going to go ahead and kick over anyway. I might as well see what I can get out of you. That's how ruthless the world is, people. That's how ruthless the world is. And unfortunately for the women, see, this is a conversation that the women need to be having. Whenever men do something the women don't like, the women are super bold. They don't give a damn if men argue. They don't give a damn if men talk back. They don't give a damn if men pull up and knuckle up on them. They'll talk all their garbage to men, but with the females, it becomes the sisterhood. With the females, it becomes the sisterhood. And they need to be honest about what that is. That's not from a place of love. That's from a place of hate. That's from a place of I despise you. You do not love somebody when you encourage them under these circumstances. It'd be one thing if the other folks were just quiet, but they're not quiet. They're cheering her on. Now she has become, I mean, it's got to be because of the money. She has become so desperate. Now the situation has deteriorated to the point that she has become so desperate. She's become so luckless that she has become an international laughingstock. This is how far it's fallen. This is how far it's gone. You have to be honest with yourself, and you have to be proactive with yourself, because this could be your daughter one day. This could be your daughter one day, making international headlines for this. That she has such a break with reality that this is what she's reduced to. The chat room, Brianna says, when she decided to lose weight, many of your so-called friends were against it. Once you lost the weight, they started acting differently. I hope differently means better, but in many cases, differently means, yeah, permanently different, because now you're no longer weak and struggling. People, y'all got to understand something. Folks like you when you succeed, but a lot of folks like you more when you're failing. Because you're safe when you're failing. I've recently been going over one of my favorite philosophers, Arthur Schopenhauer. And if you all have not, read the works or the writings of Schopenhauer, you'd be very, very well served to do so. He's got a number of quotes that I absolutely love. But one of the things that Schopenhauer spent his life focusing on was intelligence. And his conclusion about intelligence was that the world loves dumb people. The world loves dumb people, and the world hates smart people. It hates truly smart people That's problematic to the world. The world doesn't like that. And one of the things that I was looking at was, okay, well, because they swore up and down that he would be able to summarize exactly what it is that people don't like about smart people. Now, remember, this man was born hundreds of years ago. Hundreds. But he figured it out then. And what he said was that when you're intelligent, you automatically make other people around you feel self-conscious. And he said that it's not anything that you say or anything that you do. It is merely your presence that makes other people feel inferior. Then he went further. He said, you make them feel self-conscious and uneasy when it's just the two of you in the room by yourselves. But it's magnified multiple times when you're in the room with other people. And he said the reason for this is because people like to tell themselves that they're adequate. But when they come in the presence of somebody who actually is and you are not, now they have something to actually compare themselves to. They can't lie to themselves anymore. If you're smarter than them, they've actually got something real to measure themselves against. And most people will not be grateful or take a look at themselves and inventory themselves and say, hey, I got to step my game up. Most people are going to be like, okay, what am I going to do about this bastard over here? If you want a real example, if you want a really good example, Brianna, about why it is that people respond that way, here's a good example. I made this analogy that when you are a giant standing next to a dwarf or a midget, you don't have to say anything to the midget to make him feel self-conscious. You don't have to say anything or do anything. Just your presence next to him is offensive. Do you understand that? Can y'all wrap your heads around that one right there? If you were standing next to a midget or a dwarf, you ain't got to say nothing to him to offend him. So what did I say? What did I do? Nigga, you showed up. I didn't say nothing. You didn't have to. What's wrong with him? You. What did I do? You came. What? Just you. So I hope you all understand what that is now. So when you start getting your health together, your look together, your life together, you ain't got to say nothing. All you have to do is show up, and they are offended. The folks who used to be comfortable with you, they're offended. If you are a female, understand something. When people see that you're a female and you start focusing and start disciplining yourself, understand something, folks. Discipline is only good for one thing: accomplishing something. People don't get disciplined because they don't have a goal. People become disciplined because they do have a goal. And here's the problem: when you become disciplined out of nowhere, people don't trust you. Well, Jason, why don't they trust me? I just became disciplined. They don't trust you because they can't see inside of your head to see exactly what is your real goal. How far are you going to take these changes? Are you about to become a threat to me? Brianna was real easy to keep around when she was 300 pounds. She drops down to 150. What does she think she's doing? Is she going to challenge me for my man? Is she going to challenge me for my job? Is she going to challenge me for my position? When she was 300 pounds, she was in no condition or position to be able to do that. Now that she looks different, well, she's got options available to her that were not there before. To the men listening, when you get your life together and get your money straight, and you pull up in that $150,000 car, You ain't got to say a word to nobody. Do you understand that? You don't have to tell. When they saw you last year driving that Kia Spectra, and this year you came pulling up in $150,000 worth of excellence, you don't have to say anything. The hate gonna be automatic. You don't have to tell them nothing, not a damn syllable. They heard every damn word. They get it, and they'll hate you for it. Without you saying nothing, you didn't come up bragging, you didn't come up boasting. You just showed up, and they're like, damn that nigga. Do you understand that when you are not there are so many people that the only way that they can be comfortable around another person is if that person is struggling and helpless. And you are one of the people that they are either comfortable around or are totally uncomfortable around. And that's why you have to get used to the idea of making people uncomfortable. If they have a problem with you achieving and you excelling, and yes, you got the ability to snatch her man or snatch his girl, but you ain't on that kind of time. Okay, but that doesn't mean that you're gonna stop being competitive. Yeah, bruh, I ain't gonna pull your broad. I could, but I'm not gonna pull your broad. You need to keep her in check yourself. If something does happen, it's not gonna be because of me. But I'm not going to sit up here and shine less because you feel anxious and inferior if I do. So I got to sit up here and diminish myself and lower myself so you can be comfortable? So you can't be comfortable with both of us being great, or you can't be comfortable with me being greater than you. There's levels to this thing. You should be proud when you see somebody doing better than you. If you're doing your best work, there's no reason to be jealous of somebody else. They're doing their best work and they got bigger rewards than you did. That's not something you're supposed to be hating on unless you are a person who's not comfortable, and you're only comfortable if you think that other people should be doing less and worse than you. There's a whole bunch of females in here right now. There's a bunch of you who are former fatties.
Damn!
Yeah, I said it. Let's go ahead and get to that right quick. Some of you are current fatties. But there are a bunch of you who are former fatties, and you, practically all of y'all, were with a nigga that sat up here and cheered you on. You had family members pat you on the back. And there's a bunch of you who were sleeping with a dude. He was right there the whole damn time. You size 14, 16, 18, 20. And he's sitting there hugging on you the whole damn time. And you didn't figure out that he wants you like that. Because as long as you are in that condition, he doesn't have to be a competitive man. He's got life on easy mode. Yeah, I mean, if he's willing to sit up here and wrangle them ham hocks you call thighs, but he got something. And he's cool with that. Yeah, I mean, you're a strong too, but he doesn't have to fight or work for it or compete for it. It just gets dropped off. So he's got a female that is commensurate. Look it up. He's got a female that matches his level of competitiveness, or should I say uncompetitiveness. And you didn't realize that that was you. Bunch of females right now tonight carrying bastard kids didn't realize that that nigga needs you helpless. He needs you undesirable so that he can settle in and get back to being lazy. So he can get back to being uncompetitive. So he can get back to having it easy. Cause now he figures he got you trapped. Baby, when you a size 20, he doesn't have to ask. He knows he got you trapped. When he done gave you 3 kids, he knows he got you trapped. Got your ass in the damn box. And you might be able to hop to somebody else, but your options just got clipped. You'll never know how high you could have gone. There's a whole bunch of females in here right now. Y'all lost weight. And by the way, you lost weight and then you lost the dude. You lost weight and then you lost the dude. Couldn't quite figure out what the hell happened. You were a size 20 when you were with him. You lost the weight and then you lost him. Some of you don't even know what happened or what changed. Could it be that you saw him differently after you realized what the hell was going on to you? But then again, you knew this the whole time. When you are an uncompetitive female, you only qualify for uncompetitive men. When you actually shake that mess off and get to work and start making real substantive changes, things go differently. Things go differently. But you got to get there first. However, there are a bunch of people who will love the idea of you not making it. There are a bunch of folks who love the idea that you won't make it. They're comfortable with you being their 400-pound buddy. That everywhere you all go, they got somebody to look down on. Y'all don't realize that? You got haters all at your damn job and you don't realize you probably sleeping next to one?
Damn!
You all act like that's unfathomable. You have no problem sitting up here saying, man, I got a job just full of haters. Some of them smile at me, some of them scowl at me, but a job full of haters. Then you go home and you can't fathom that, by the way, I got another hater right here, as a matter of fact. Yeah, they be smiling at me too. Sometimes they have sex with me. We all seen that, somebody you can't stand having sex. Every fella up in here who done slept with his baby mama after she threw your ass on child support. Got a bunch of fellas in here right, you know that's you. Bunch of fellas in here right now. That broad threw you on child support. She got a whole new dude, threw you on child support, you still sleeping with her. If she show up at your door, you still sleeping with her. You like, I'll be damned. Oh, nasty ass broad sitting up here garnishing my damn check. Come on back here, girl. You owe me some sex. You sitting up here having sex with your damn mortal enemy. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of folk who do that kind of dumb garbage. So no, you got folks here, and by the way, and she want to keep you right where you. Ain't no chick ever put a man on child support talking about, boy, I hope he becomes a millionaire one day.
Nigga, please.
If she puts you on child support, she's like, damn this nigga. Damn your future. Damn every damn thing. She's like, I'm here to mess up your whole damn program. A man has never been put on child support by a female who's like, boy, I sure hope he gets his life together. I sure hope you end up doing a whole lot of bigger, better things. Here, let me put you on this child support right quick. Well, you know, baby, I've been trying to start this business over here and everything. Oh, that's good. Your Honor, can you raise his child support payments? He's doing so good. I want to see him win, Your Honor. He gave me 3 kids, and I'm over here raising by myself, but I want to see him win. So can you throw his ass on? Can you take 1/4 of his income, please? He says he wants to start a business and get his life together. So can you go take 1/4 of his income? Thank you. Don't you know you got folks around you? It's like, oh, nigga, she's happy to see you helpless. She is happy to see you disadvantaged. She's sitting over there at home. She's like, if ain't nothing else in her life going right, she know you over there catching hell. So you see this kind of thing all the time. You got folk around you happy to see that. Happy to see that. But I'm going to take it even deeper for you here. Robert Greene, author of the 48 Laws of Power, among other things. Robert talked about something. I've reminded you all about this before, that Robert put up a post. He was talking to somebody. He said, when people don't like you, when they really don't like you, they can't hide it. He said, the way you can find out if somebody doesn't like you or not is tell them about something bad that's happened to you. Tell them about something really bad that's happened to you. Tell them about somewhere where you failed and something you really wanted to have happen didn't occur. He said, and watch their face. Even if it's only for an instant, you're going to see them crack a smile. You're going to see their eyes light up. You're going to see them with a little, even if it's just a blink of it, you're going to see a little blink of pleasure on their face when you tell them about that. The folks who really for you, they empathize with you. But for somebody who they really don't like you, they're just pretending that they do. They're just in bed with you pretending that they do. When something bad happens to you, something really bad, they can't hide that. Because that's what they've been waiting on. When I did my program about Judge Mathis and his wife, that's what they've been waiting on. They've been waiting for you to get took down a peg or two. They've been waiting for something to not chop you down to size. They've been waiting for that. And when it happens, because they can't do it themselves, but if it does happen, then they're going to sit there. They'll smirk for just a second. They'll smile. You'll see their eyes like, oh, tell me more. Give me the details. Don't miss a single detail. Tell me every bit of agony that happened. Let me know how destructive it was for you. If you all think about it right quick, every single one of your exes, particularly if you were doing better, if you think about it for just a moment, if you think about it for just a moment, you've lived that and you've seen that. Something really bad, something that ain't funny. They see you in a bad situation and they're smiling. It's like, yeah, we really don't like you, but we see a way we can capitalize on it. However, you might disagree. Therefore, the link for the Zoom is now open. The link for the Zoom is now open, and you are invited to go ahead and give us a call. I wanted to give you the insight and analysis on this story that you'll receive nowhere else. I wanted to pull up the lawsuit itself so that you could take a look at it and that you could actually see what was going on and what transpired and what they're actually saying, so that you understand that there are levels to this that other folks have not been talking about, and other people will just sit up here and say, you know, women are cheering it on. Let me go. I'm the guy showing you. This is what they're actually saying. And you've seen this in your own lives. You've seen it in your own lives. Before we do, I want to thank everyone, and I do mean everybody who's contributed to support tonight's program on PayPal, Super Chat, Venmo, my man, Sir Shy. Thank you very much for your support. Karen, she gave out gift memberships. That's the gift that keeps on giving. Doc Spencer, Seven Simone, Tom Slick, Low Key, Real Books, Do Better Podcast, everybody else in there, Mogul Maze. Thank you very much for your support. We appreciate that. As always, I got the Zoom open for you. We got the Zoom open for you here tonight, so you are welcome to go ahead and give us a call. Let me go ahead and get over here on Zoom. Let me go ahead and get up on Zoom here. All right, we got Brother Elijah on Zoom. Brother Elijah, what's on your mind?
Hey, big brother. Good evening, big brother.
All right, Brother Elijah, what's on your mind?
Brother, I'm not gonna judge this woman and criticize her or anything like that. because I know she's going through a lot. All right. I believe she understands the reality. I just don't understand this part. Oh, what made her believe she was gonna simply get in? All the Lyft driver told this woman, "Hey, just order a bigger car." What made her believe she was gonna be able to get in there, fit, and then she's still so large, he can only push his chair up so much. Then we don't know the height of this gentleman, how uncomfortable he's going to feel trying to drive this woman around. What did this woman really expect? What does she expect to gain? And this guy does have the right to refuse service.
Actually, you kind of don't.
Okay.
So you cannot refuse service to people for any reason. You have to have a valid reason for it. And
okay.
Depending on where you're at, that might not be a valid one. I suspect, that's why I went over this, because I'm like, I couldn't help but notice. I've seen her with a bunch of vehicles, and small Mercedes ain't really it. That's why I showed you all, up until now, everything we've seen was an SUV. Then she goes asking for this kind of car. She goes asking for this one, even though there are bigger ones. Why would she do that? And I would like to see I'd like to see the records to see how many lifts she's asked for before this happened.
Tinfoil Kufi, I think she did this on purpose so she can start a lawsuit. Possibly, right?
There are certainly people who suspect that that's the case, that she went lawsuit shopping. She went fishing for something here, and then next thing you know, I mean, she's got two rather interesting looking attorneys, and I mean, they're Johnny on the spot. Really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these guys look straight out of Central Casting. I mean, boy, this looks straight out of a Hollywood comedy movie. And so, like I say, there's a good number of folk who are like, this kind of adds up some kind of way.
Right. And then you made another point. I asked with Lizzo, you was discussing this. Pardon me if I'm making a comparison. Lizzo was huge, but Lizzo made sure she dropped the weight, and she's trying to still tone up the best way she can because she'll have a lot of sagging skin because of the weight. This woman is 500 pounds. My question is this: if she ever decides to go on a weight loss crusade, my question is the damage so severe she can't really recover from it?
Well, I don't know her health status. I'm not aware of her health history. Mm-hmm. I certainly hope that's not the case. Right. I hope it's not the case. Because take a look at what your life has become. First, you were on reality TV on somebody's little rap show, and now this is where you are. I mean, this is where you are. You're here trying to sue Lyft because we're so gigundous we can't fit in the car. This is what we're reduced to? We're here? Is this where you thought your life was going to end up at? All because you're not really making it anything else. This is where we're at? We're here? This is a sad commentary.
Right, of course. And brother, last point, and then I'm gonna leave the line open for the other brothers and sisters to call in. You was talking about with the child support that no woman will put a man on child support because she wants to see him win. She wants to see him be successful. And I'm, please correct me. I'm kind of on the fence with the child support only because these guys, they're not marrying these females. And me listening to you, I'll never forget a broadcast you did 3 years ago when there was a woman, she had 2 children of her own. The guy she was dating, he was a former felon, a ex-convict. but he was talking to her, telling her, look, he wants children because he's getting his business, but he wants children. But no, but she was saying, look, if we're gonna have children, why don't we get married? And she told you that story, and you said you are not to have any more children unless you're married. And these guys, they're not putting marriage on the table, but they're putting children on the table. It got to be hand in hand, most likely because she's going to take a hit to her respective life as well. Are these women wrong for putting men on child support and they're not getting nothing out the deal?
Okay, who's not getting anything out of the deal?
The women, when they get impregnated and they're not getting married, they're going to take a hit to their respective life. There's going to be a lot of, most like the life they could have had is going to be most likely gone.
Well, I mean, they've already taken that hit there, but here's the thing, when a man is honorable, child support's not necessary. So if you have a stand-up male to begin with, that's not even necessary.
Right.
Child support's necessary when you sat up here and we're sitting up here making your draws available for a world tour with Pookie, Ray, Mike, Little Slug, Catfish, Cornbread, and everybody else out there because you were sexually adventuring.
Right.
When you actually make calculated decisions, that's not necessary. Like when you take your professional athletes, for example, you don't never hear about anybody who never paid anything. Them chicks go to court to find out, okay, how much can I squeeze this nigga for? They're not going there because he did nothing for them. They're not going there because he did nothing for his children. They're going there to say, okay, how do I flip this child support into alimony? How do I hit you for enough that the child support now becomes alimony? Which child support is not supposed to be. But it's not because the men don't do anything for their children. That's practically unheard of. That part usually comes years down the line after she's been getting $100,000 a month. But you don't ever hear about that kind of stuff at the beginning because that's not an issue. That only becomes an issue later. Remember, a man's attachment to the children is no stronger than his attachment to the woman. If she's offended him to the point that it's no longer even worth it, that he doesn't even want to be in contact with her, it becomes easy to sit up here and say, screw you and them kids. No, I did not say I endorse that, but I'm just saying that that's the result of doing that. So for the females, women who operate off of emotion, she's more concerned with locking this guy down than actually having the tools necessary to get a man to commit. If she's unwilling to do that, then she starts going for down and dirty solutions. And when a female starts resorting to that, just like men get chicks pregnant to keep other men from getting at her, women get pregnant by a guy figuring that, okay, well now you've given me a key that anytime I want to mess with your life, I can. So you don't need to be fooling with other women because now I got leverage to mess with you. So you need to do what I want you to do.
Right.
And so it becomes that. Mm-hmm. When that inevitably doesn't work because this man didn't really want children with you, he just wanted sexual access to you. Now you're going to see if you can, okay, let me go ahead and see if I can bring the state in to even the odds. Because he can just get up and walk. Well, let me bring the state in. So I can't whoop his ass with my hands. Let me bring the state in. So for men, it's in your best interest, and don't get nobody pregnant out here. If she wasn't worth marrying, she's damn sure not worth children. Period.
Right.
So that's the way that goes. If you're not willing to risk yourself, why would you be willing to risk your offspring with this person? But technically speaking there, child support really isn't even necessary with certain men. But if you're not really the female he wants to keep, you're just going to be chasing him around for everything. That's going to be your life, is just chasing him around.
Brother, well, let me ask you, I heard Mr. Trump, I heard this as a rumor. I can't confirm it. Mr. Trump is
the child support thing. No.
Right. It's not going to happen.
I haven't seen anything like that. That's a lot of rumors. There's a whole bunch of rumors flying around out there. And unfortunately, he's not just a rumor magnet, he's a rumor monger.
Right.
So, but no, if anything like that actually definitively is established, I'll be one of the first to let you know. But there isn't anything definitive about that. Folks are inferring things. You got folks talking about he wants to get rid of the IRS. And I'm like, if you actually listen to the speech he gave, that's not what he said.
Right.
So a lot of people are just saying things because they think it's going to get attention. Please understand that, y'all. They're just saying some of anything because they think, there's going to get attention for it. People are just so absolutely shameless today. So if that actually comes up, we'll see. Because, brother, you can't get them to do that at the state level.
No, of course not.
As far as like taking child support so it can't be deducted, no. That has not come up yet.
Okay.
Furthermore, why would he want to do that? That's the first thing, because he wants to lower it for corporations. And why would you want to take it off of child support? There's not really anybody defending them. There's not really anybody defending guys on child support and saying they need to pay less. So that would be, I'll believe that one when I see it. But if I see something, I'll let you all know. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. A lot of wishful thinking. Hey, fellas, I got an idea. Just, if she's not wife material, then we shouldn't be doing anything else with her either. So, by the way, if she's not wife material, why are we giving her access to a bunch of other things if she is clearly not wife material? Why are we doing that? All right, let me go ahead and get back over here on Zoom again. Let me see if I can get Kanaz up here on Zoom. See if their audio is coming together here. Wait, there we go. If their audio is coming. All right, turn off your speakers. Wait, there we go. If their audio is coming. All right, turn off your speakers. I'm going to have some grace tonight. They're working on this newfangled technology. Make sure you have your YouTube turned off. That's all you really need to do.
Okay, I cut off the YouTube. So
all right. There you go. Folks, if y'all turn off your YouTubes when you call in, you won't have the echoing. Now, haven't I been waiting a while for you to call in?
Yeah.
I've been waiting. You're late.
I didn't know you were doing like Zooms and stuff.
I am now. Blog Talk no longer exists, by the way. So they shut Blog Talk down. But I stopped Blog Talk way before then because the service just became unusable. However, I'm glad to meet you face to face, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Now, for those of you who do not remember, I received a phone call almost around this time last year from a certain fellow who told me that his daughter was interested in getting into real estate. And I said I thought she was a little young and I wasn't sure if she wanted to stick with that. However, give it a year, look into it, and if you still feel the same way in a year from now, call me back and I will put you in touch with some of my people. So, how do you feel?
I feel like I still want to do real estate agent, but there's like other things I want to do also because I don't want to like spend my life doing only one thing when there's more things to do in life.
Okay. Let's go ahead and deal with a few things here first. How old are you?
I'm 13 years old.
Okay. Well, actually, she's at a very pivotal age there, as a matter of fact. So let's deal with a few things here. 13 years old, which means depending on how old you are, you'll be in high school next year?
I'll be in 8th grade next year.
Okay, so you'll be in high school in 2 years. As much as I would love to tell you that that's a great big long timeline, you're going to be surprised how fast that time flies. You will be surprised. It's very nice to say, I have a bunch of things I'd like to do. Here's the problem. You can't be excellent at multiple things. There are some people who are, but it's very, very difficult to do that. You need to find one thing to focus on and perfect it. You shouldn't have to be 19 or 20 years old before anybody explains that one to you. So you're 13. When they had career day, they left it very wide open to you all. What do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a doctor and a lawyer and an astronaut and an engineer and a scuba diver and a chef. Well, that's wonderful as children because that shows you have a concept of professions that you'll need to be in later. But that is not the way the real world works. You need to choose one thing that you can give yourself to and devote all of your focus to. Now, you'll be tempted to choose something that you're happy with, what they call passionate about. Oh, I'm really geeked about this. And don't get me wrong, there's a place in this world for your passions, but you're going to have bills to pay. And your passions may not pay your bills. Just because you love music doesn't mean you can make a living at it. And especially in the city that you're in. One of the fastest growing, and by the way, in case you all didn't know, if you take a look, well, you're young right now. In 10 years' time, I expect that they'll have that light rail constructed between Houston and Dallas. They should have that maglev finished by then. You're going to grow up in a radically different Texas than the one that I lived in. People are going to have the ability to live in Dallas and work in Houston or vice versa. That's going to lead to a huge increase of people until eventually the populations of Dallas and Houston grow close enough to almost make them the same city. So it will be a megalopolis like nothing we've ever seen. And you will be in the middle of it if you're still there. That'd be great for somebody in real estate, by the way. And the other thing is you need to go for stuff that's boring. Yikes, y'all didn't see her face change when I said that. Boring? He wants me to eat my vegetables. Ma'am, you don't make lots of money at things that are exciting. You make lots of money at things that are boring. Medicine is boring. Engineering is boring. IT is boring. That doesn't mean the folk don't love it. But what I'm saying is it's not glamorous. And when you don't really have to pay bills, we can let you be glamorous. But remember, people pay top dollar for the stuff that's boring because nobody else wants to do it because it's boring. And that's where the money is. Signing real estate contracts and deeds and finance papers is boring. And that's where the money is because other folks don't like to do it. So I'm not going to necessarily push you in that direction. If you don't think that's a good idea, that's fine too. But you are 13. You need to narrow down exactly where you're going.
I want to do real estate. It was always my main thing. But I've been focusing on my acting. And
oh boy.
I mainly want to do real estate though.
Okay. I want to be a doctor, lawyer, astronaut. Okay. I would like to focus on my acting. Well, far be it from me to ever prevent the next Angela Bassett from coming up here, so I certainly wouldn't want to get in the way of that. However, I'm just curious. Why are you interested in acting?
It's something I've really wanted to do since I was little, and I finally got the chance to whenever I got in middle school because my theater teacher is actually an actor. And the first time I ever auditioned for anything, I got the main role. And then I auditioned for something this year too, and I also got the role. And recently I auditioned for the role of Dorothy in The Wiz, and I got it.
Okay, well, you look like you could be a young Diana Ross, so that's very, very good. Do you even remember The Wiz? You're 13 years old. I'm about to say that's like 4 times as old as you are. So he's gonna have to show you The Wiz so you can see Diana Ross and Michael Jackson. So she's like The Wiz. She doesn't even know what The Wiz is, y'all. This is how old the rest of us are. And these babies don't even know what The Wiz. She's like, I got the lead part in The Wiz. What's The Wiz? I don't know. Okay. In any case, I hope it's The Wiz and not The Wizard of Oz because it's a slight difference. Okay. Far be it from me to dissuade you from something like that because I would not do that. What I will tell you is that you can do that in something else. The worst thing you could possibly do is put your eggs in all your eggs in the entertainment basket. Worst, absolute worst, most terrible. Did I say worst? Worst thing you could do is put all your eggs in that basket. And I know Hollywood actors and I know major entertainers, and they would all tell you the same thing. You're too young to get on the business side of things where the entertainment industry is concerned. You're too young for that at this point. So it's not like you could be an investor. But as far as being an act, I'm not going to stop you from doing it or just try to discourage you from it. I am going to say, yeah, that we can certainly do that in our off time. But I am going to strongly advise you to have something that is a mainstay instead. Because acting and entertainment are a gig. It's one thing, you have an advantage right now, like if they're casting for children, well, you have an advantage because you're 13 years old. In a couple of years, you won't be. So you won't be eligible for those, and now you're going to be having to compete against adults. Then what? There's only a certain number of roles out there. There's only a certain number of productions. And yeah, you might have something available in Houston, and again, you may not. So acting and entertainment are really a gig economy. It depends on what's available and where it's available. Right now, you could have a bunch of stuff shooting or filming, and then next year you could look up and there's nothing filming. Then what? So
it's not something that I want to place all my time into. It's more of like something I want to do on the side because it is something I still want to do. But real estate has also been something that I've thought about and wanted to do.
Well, most real estate agents are part-time to begin with because just like anything else, if you're not excellent at it, it won't work. So it's very important for a person to be excellent at what they do. Certainly, if you have a good broker to work under, that's the best circumstance to be in. If you have a good broker, the real thing is good brokering. So that's necessary as well. But I'm glad to hear she's got Hollywood aspirations. Oh, goodness gracious, save the children from that. Oh, boy, y'all. I strongly want to, some of the stuff I see on TV now, I'm trying to steer you in the other direction, to be totally honest. But what I will say is, yeah, you don't want to put all your eggs in that basket. So here's what I want you to do. I'm not going to help you with the Hollywood thing. No, not going to do that. Not at all. Been there, done that, seen them. If you make it work, God bless you. As far as me sending you off into it, no. There's just way too much nonsense happening over there that you're not old enough to have this conversation about yet. So, yeah. And the folk who go there will tell you the exact same thing. The other part, that's different. If that is something that you're interested in, I can see about putting you in touch with some people who can help you with that. Now, before you say anything, you need to be certain that that is what you're going to commit to. Do you know what commit means?
Yes.
Okay. What do you think commit means?
To pour all your time and effort into something and to keep like persevering towards it no matter what.
That's a good way of defining commit. Here's a better one. Commit means that you cannot take it back. Like when we say that somebody commits to someone in marriage, that's one thing. When we use the word commit for committing a crime. That means you've already done it, which means you can't undo it. Are you that serious?
Yes. It's not, acting is more like a side thing. It's just mainly what I've been focusing on right now, but I know in the future, real estate aging is what I want to do for sure. It's not like something I really have thought about changing my mind to.
Well, what I want you to do, he's already got my email address. So what you're going to do is after you get off of here, he's going to send me your phone number. Well, you don't have a phone number. You better not have a phone number. Anyway, he's going to send me his phone number, not yours. You better not have a phone. Yikes. Here we go. And you're wondering why they're looking for Hollywood folks. All right, never mind. I'll figure out a solution to that cell phone issue later. But anyway, he can send me a cell phone number and I will be in touch with you.
Okay. Thank you.
Now, the last question. Are you sure you wouldn't like to take some more time to think this over?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Why don't we give you another week to think this over? And there's a reason why I'm saying that. The reason why I'm saying that is because a divided mind can't get a whole lot of things accomplished. And he knows that. So I'm not going to take you away from those other things, but I'm going to give you a week, and I'm not going to bring you back up here. I'll be in touch with you myself. But I'm going to give you a week. And I mean a week where if you had to get up and you're not going to be able to do anything else except real estate, are you willing to do that?
Yes.
Okay. If your answer is the same in a week, I'm going to send somebody to see you.
Okay. Thank you.
Now, don't make a fool of me with him.
I won't.
All right, now where is he at? Tell him come here.
What's going on?
All right, sir. Well, she's got a lot going on.
Yeah, she don't got no cell phone.
Okay, well.
Nah.
She's looking around like he don't know. Okay, well. I mean, you might want to check between the mattresses for that track phone. So it's just, got to look out for that. She might have the track phone between the mattresses. It's just, she looks guilty. It's just, I know that look right there. That's the fella in the holding room of the first 48. I know that look right there. I recognize it anywhere. Send me your telephone number, and I'm going to check back with you in a week. Okay. And I mean by you, not her. I'm going to check back with you in a week. And if she still feels the same, I'm going to send some people to see you.
Okay, definitely. All right, I'll send it to you right now.
All right, sir. We'll be in touch.
All right, take it easy. Appreciate you, man.
Nothing easy about it, I assure you. There's nothing easy about it, I assure you. All right, folks. Well, we just had to take that interlude there to catch up with from last year. By the way, I am like nobody else on the internet. Yes, I am the only person who will tell you, call me back. Whether it is 6 days from now, 6 months from now, 6 years from now. I am the only person who will say that. And when you do, I will answer the phone. And we'll take up where we left off at, which is exactly what happened here. So she's a little late. She should have been calling me like way earlier in the month. So a little late, but I guess better late than never. Working up their nerve and things. So now it's time for me to put life and limb and my name on the line here and see if we can help the young folks out. But by the way, anybody who lives out there in Dallas, Houston, and whatnot, y'all know full well it is blowing up like napalm. It is all the way real about that. And the sooner you get them started, the better. The sooner they are started, the better. All right, let me go ahead and get Greg. I'll check back with her in a week and we will see what's popping. If she is certain about that. And she got a little uncertainty there, so I'm going to give her some time to think. All right, we got Greg on the line from Dallas. What's on your mind, Greg?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's on your mind?
All right. Yeah, back to the topic at hand. I I think Brother Elijah was onto something when he said that he thinks that this woman is doing this deliberately with the lawsuit and everything. When you were going through her Instagram timeline, I noticed that a lot of her videos were deliberately self-deprecating. And it kind of reminds me of like the class clown in school. You know, they're not the smartest, they're probably among the dumbest of kids in the class. And typically, when you have the dumbest kids in class, they do one of two things. Either they stay stone silent, so nobody pays attention to them, or they compensate for their inferiority by being a clown to try to hide the fact that they're stupid, because some people just can't fail in silence. And I think that's what she's doing. You show that she is constantly in SUVs, so she knows her size and she knows what she needs to be transported in. But she probably just deliberately call, like, you know, I don't know, I don't use Lyft, but like whatever, a Lyft standard when she knows she needs an XL. And the way just that she had her phone poised and like was ready to record a confrontation with the man, asked him his name, had everything. It was like she deliberately knew that she was going to elicit or basically provoke him to deny her. And then now she could translate that into a lawsuit. And ultimately, I think it's for clout. She's a rapper, I guess. And, you know, for her, it's like no attention is bad attention because she knows the reality of her condition. She knows her appearance turns people off. And for most women that are big or plus size, I could say that about at least 80% of them, if they could snap their fingers and cut their weight in half, they would do it. But she strikes me differently. I think she's resigned to being big, and being a spectacle is her reality. So she's going full on into it. So yeah, that's my take on this one.
You're going to have a hard time convincing me, based on what I've seen, that she just called an Uber and just everything else coming together. It's like, boy, it sure looks suspect, don't it? It sure looks suspect. It sure does. And I'm just saying, if you've reached a point in your life, if you're at a point in your life where you got to jump out in front of moving cars to get hit so you can get an insurance check or something, I'm like, the universe is trying to tell you something. The universe is trying to tell you something. She knows that's not cute. She knows that's not a good look. She knows this is just all the way bad. She knows it. But she's let herself go this far and whatnot, and she doesn't know how to help herself get back up. And now you just got vultures circling around you like, hey, let me see what I can pick off. Let me see what I can get. That's the sad part about this for me. Everybody around her is just looking to see what they can get at her expense. It's not like you're dealing with a really rich person that they got it to give. You know, I'm not saying they should be, but I'm just saying, okay, that's not really going to wreck their lives. In her case, it's like, yeah. Now you got lawyers swooping in. It's like, that's your first sign. Hey, this isn't good. This is not good, because if that had been you and me, this wouldn't happen. This wouldn't happen. We would have gotten another Lyft. This wouldn't have happened. And for this to occur, it's like, yeah, I mean, because who does that? You know? Who does that? Then again, there is one other scenario. Maybe she's had this happen a few times before, and she's so self-conscious about it now, that she's become so arrogant about it now, that she's demanding respect because she doesn't really get it. And now she's found a target that she thinks she can press the issue on. The only thing that makes it suspect is you got some lawyers who jumped in. I know you can't pay them, so pretty sure they got that on contingency. I'm like, for if they're taking this case on contingency, and I strongly suspect that they are, because I mean, a civil suit like this would cost you tens of thousands if you were paying it yourself. So if they're taking it on contingency, and everything they're saying in there indicates to me that they are, then that's the part right there that looks suspect. That right there. That part. Now, you just jumped up out of nowhere and you got two lawyers willing to take your case like boom, bam, bap. Okay. At that point, it's like, yeah, we need to look in this a little bit further. However, This is a hell of a way to make famous, because none of us knew who she was before today.
Exactly. But this, she relishes in this. The one that you showed where she tripped and fell and whatever, typically when you trip and you fall, you hope nobody sees it. And if there was any evidence of it, you want to act like, because that's embarrassing. She's putting it out on Front Street. And that's the second video I've seen of her tripping and falling. She wants the attention, and she probably has no other way of getting it. So the only way she knows is to make herself a laughingstock, and that's what she's doing. So, yeah, and I guess it really doesn't help that you have this perverted body positivity movement that will actually bolster her case and give her the attaboys to make her think that what she's doing is justified somehow.
Or at least to condone it with you. Just that prevents you from feeling any social stigma to make any changes. There's a reason that the human psyche developed guilt and shame. There's a reason that it developed it. Pretty much everything that's developed that we call emotions are survival mechanisms. They serve some sort of survival or some sort of utilitarian or useful purpose. They're not just there. Guilt and shame serve a purpose. Just like pain does. Pain is a corrective mechanism. It tells you something's wrong. Might not be able to tell you exactly what it is, but it's alerting you, hey, there's a problem. Something's out of whack. And if you're feeling ashamed of something, that's your conscience. That's, hey, something's wrong. We need to do something about this. And she knows something's wrong, and you have a bunch of people trying to tell her, no, shut that voice off. Tell that voice quiet down. That voice telling you there's something wrong, tell it shut up. You're fine, girl. You look great. Face card over, you look great, girl. And brother, what I'm telling you is, think about it for a few moments. That's like, I was talking about this a few weeks ago here. That's like being somebody who's, been rich or famous your life. Basketball, what's his name? Travis Hunter. That's like being him. You came out of high school, you were a prospect. Nobody's going to tell you the truth. Everybody around you is looking for what they can get from you. No one's going to say a negative word to you because they're all looking to see if they can get their taste. And they don't want to do anything that's going to mess up their chances. So literally, you've got thousands of people around you and not one single person who will be honest with you. Don't you know you're going to wreck your life? Because nobody's willing to tell you, hey, man, there's a problem. Now think about her. She's about as far from Travis as you can be athletically. But take a look at this phalanx of people who are willing to sit there and reinforce this with her.
Exactly.
Give her an alternate reality. Well, I mean, how are you going to tell her that she's wrong when she can sit there and get 100 people to say, oh, you look great?
Right. And they're going against nature because the shame aspect is twofold. There's the personal shame and there's the societal shame. So that if your personal shame doesn't correct your behavior, the societal ostracism, when people look at you like, that's weird, that's supposed to override and to give you the guilt that you didn't have in yourself. But when her personal shame mechanism is compromised and society isn't doing enough to shame her to cause her to see, what she's doing is unacceptable, then yeah, you have a real problem.
Well, and one last thing here. A lot of folks would say, well, Jason, why would she think that getting to this size was okay? To you, all of you, I would say the same answer for the single moms. Why is it you can't say anything to the chick who got 2 bastard kids by 2 different dudes? Because she's not listening to you tell her that the standard is 0 kids by 0 bums. She's thinking to herself, well, it could be worse. I'm not the worst I've seen. Why, I know a chick got 5 kids by 5 different dudes. What? So I'm not that bad. I know a chick doing worse than me. To her, she's 500 pounds. Well, I know a chick who's 600. I know one who's 700. So you see, I'm not the worst. I can't be doing that bad. I'm not 700 pounds.
That could be it. Sometimes too, when I look at women who do these things, these really just disastrous acts to themselves, it's almost like a form of self-mutilation. And when it comes to women and overeating to that level, A lot of times that's a signature of abuse. And think of how many calories you need to devour a day in addition to being sedentary to get that big. That's not normal. I believe something happened to her. She didn't just sit down there and eat. And then the amount that's an expense to get that big. That's not something that just happened as a chance occurrence. She's doing something. Basically, she doesn't like herself.
I mean, I pointed out before, she's got piercings. You see the tattoos all over her.
Yes.
If she was a size 6, we'd all be seeing the hoe rules. We'd all be seeing that. And so in this case right here, that's what I was saying, by the way, this is a huge, in addition to all the other red flags, the fake gold hair and the wigs and the crazy Parker Brothers eyebrows and all the rest of that stuff, tattoos, being ostentatious, talking about your sex habits, publicly disclosing your sex habits. It's like, really? Once again, if that was a size 6, you'd know what you were seeing. You wouldn't even need anybody to tell you. You'd be like, okay, we know what that is. And in her case, as incredible as it is to believe, yeah, it's the same thing. So when you talk about that, it's like, yeah, I see the same thing. I see the same thing. And because the other thing you think about here is, by the way, you don't see her talking about her family. She got like a post talking about her cousins. Where the hell is your dad? Where the hell is your mom? Where the hell are they?
And I'm sure if you found out, you'll realize why she overeats.
Okay, somebody says she really does have an OnlyFans.
Yeah, she does.
And this concludes tonight's broadcast of The Business. I am Jason Black, signing off for Damn Me Good.
But that's why I said society doesn't do enough to shame her. There's enough, even if she had a scintilla of shame in her, there's enough of society that's deviant enough to say, nah, it's all right. Matter of fact, we'll celebrate this. Matter of fact, we'll pay for this. So, yeah, this is, things like this is like ushering in the downfall of humanity. And that's not being...
No, I mean, these are people sitting up here drawing entertainment from somebody who's in trouble. Bro, you can't be 500... I mean, what was her name? Susan Powder once summed it up wonderfully. She said, I'm not saying you can't be overweight and be happy. I'm not saying you can't be overweight and be fulfilled. But you cannot be obese and be healthy. So you can sit there and smile with your Bozo the Clown painted on smile all you want to. You're not healthy. At 500 pounds, you're in trouble. You are literally taxing every bodily system that you have. Starting with the cardiovascular, but certainly not ending there. You're putting tremendous stress on your skeleton because you didn't accumulate a bunch of fat and a bunch of weight, but your skeletal system is not expanded along with it. And your musculature hasn't expanded along with it. So there goes the skeleton system, the digestive tract, the endocrine system, your neurological system, the nervous system. You are putting strains on all of that. All of it. Everything you're putting this tremendous weight on. So you're not healthy. And everybody cheering you on. This is like watching a crackhead and the folk talking about you're beautiful. That's literally what this is. This is like watching a crackhead or a heroin addict shoot up, get smoked up and talk about you're beautiful. Slay queen, face card, she eating.
Literally.
And it's sick, brother. It's sick. You and me know in our grandmother's day, they never would have, it couldn't be. The other women at the church would have checked that. The men wouldn't have had to say a damn thing. The women would have shut that down. The women, you couldn't get that big back in the old days because the women wasn't going to have it. Today they enjoy and get a thrill out of seeing you suffer. You see she's not healthy. Brother, this would be the same as you and me watching some fella get smoked out and we recording him on our cell phones. That's not entertaining. That's not entertaining. You don't like this guy. You don't like him. You know, DMX, when he was having his drug issues and stuff, we did a lot of things. We wasn't sitting there recording it. We weren't sitting there recording and talking about he's rapping all kinds of crazy because he didn't hit the pipe. And oh man, he really flowing. What do you do? Don't do that. That's not healthy. He's not okay. He's not okay. What the hell happened to your damn scruples yourself when you shouldn't be sitting there with that? At the very least, you should be having a big ass wall of silence. At the very least. It shouldn't be anybody sitting there encouraging it. And she's got a bunch of folk encouraging her. And you and I both know what that does to females on social media.
Exactly.
Sex turns men's brains off. Attention turns women's brains off.
I bet you she gets a dopamine hit from every positive and negative comment she gets. And that's a killer combination.
Man, that's a hell of a way of seeing it there, that she gets a hit just off attention, period.
Yes.
As long as she's not, there's a good psychological basis for what you're saying, as long as she's not being ignored. Mm-hmm. There's what comes with it, showing herself falling down and showing herself at the convenience store. It's like a minstrel show.
Yes.
This is like a minstrel show now. You're degrading yourself and you know this. Yeah, but at least I'm not being ignored.
Precisely. That's what I said. But thank you very much, Jason, for taking my call.
Thank you for checking in tonight. Yeah, man, like I said, I'm right there with you on that. That's a hell of a spot to be in. Hell of a spot to be in. Those of you out there got sons and daughters and everything else, that is an important thing. That's an important thing I want you to keep in mind. You got folk out here who do not care what is happening to your children. Not at all. They don't care what's happening to your daughters, and you put them on social media, and next thing you know, that's a wrap. That's a wrap. As far as I'm concerned, that's a very vicious thing. That's a very vicious thing to have people around you who are willing to do that. And they think it's funny. Imagine if that was your daughter and other people were sitting there laughing like that. Imagine if that was your daughter and other folks were surrounded around her and they're just sitting there laughing. They're laughing. She's on Instagram doing this stuff right here. I mean, you thought, and she got an OnlyFans? Damn! I'll tell you the other side of where this comes from. The other side of where this comes from is that folks want to, in her case, folks want to shame their parents. Folks want to shame their parents. Talia James needs to give me a call on Zoom. I'm trying to figure out what this is about. In the chat room, Talia James, you need to hit the Zoom link. I'm interested in seeing who's putting sisters down. I need to know about who's down in sisters here. I need to find out about that because there's a bunch of females on that page, big up in her. So I need to find out who exactly are the brothers down in the sisters. I need to find it out. Yeah, we need to find out what's going on there. So Talia, you got the Zoom link is pinned to the top of the chat room. The Zoom link is pinned to the top of the chat room there. I need to be hearing from you. Let me go ahead and jump back over here on Zoom. Let me go ahead and get Remy. All right, we got Remy on Zoom. At least I'm trying to get Remy on Zoom. Let me see. There we go. All right, we got Remy on Zoom. What's on your mind?
Awesome broadcast, as always, Mr. Jason. Awesome broadcast. Two things. With the Lyft driver, aren't they 1099?
They may be. Depending on where they are, they may be.
Michigan, right?
Okay. Yeah, they may be actually 1099. They might be.
So why isn't she suing him personally instead of going for Lyft?
I mean, because that's what you're going to do. If he's contracting for them and whatnot, they're a party to it. So on the lawsuit there. As a matter of fact, they might have them on that. Let me check and see here. Yeah, it's got both of them. It's got both Lyft and him. So they're both named as plaintiffs.
Ain't that a bitch?
Yeah, they're both named as plaintiffs.
And one of your callers prior to me getting on, I'm seconding with him. This seems like a whole scam. I know previous callers said it as well, but I'm a double down with it. Ain't no way in heck, man, because as you was going through some of her pages, you can see that she's in an SUV. So she knows, and I think those lawyers probably got to her and told her, like, hey, man, we can get you a case, whoop de whoop, or whatever. You never know technically, but I think it's a setup. And my last thing, with your Robert Greene analogy, right? And I've read 48 Laws of Power. How seriously do you take them, though?
Well, I mean, I think they're very well thought out. Robert would be the first one to tell you that they are not gospel. They're not intended to be taken in numerical order. They're not meant to be absolutes, but they are meant to be observations that are valid in fact. So he's the first one to tell you. He's done videos and interviews about that before. They're not all meant to be taken as a collective, so think of it as a compendium of things that should be used where applicable. So I think it's a good primer in that regard. I need y'all to understand one of the things that Robert was thinking about and talking about when it came to strategy and war, and this also came to 48 Laws of Power, is that what folks don't understand is that games like chess and whatnot, remember, up until the 20th century, literacy was not a widespread thing. Yeah. Think about that for a few moments. Okay, well, guess what? Neither was warfare. In Europe, being taught war strategy was strictly restricted to the aristocracy. You had to be highborn, you had to be gained up, you had to be from highborn families. The average person was not taught or even told that there was the existence of something called war strategy. That you weren't taught that. That was not for the masses. That was for a very, very select few people. So for the things that are even in his book, that was relegated for the aristocracy. Those concepts to understand how people work. Machiavelli's The Prince, that was for the royalty. That was not for everybody. You know that for a fact. That was for the royalty. That was not for everybody. That was literally this man telling the next ruler, this is how you need to do things. By definition, that wasn't for everybody. So
he was ostracized for that too.
Yeah, so just having the ability to do that and to dispense that to the masses, these are actually facets of psychology and sociology that people are really not aware of, because it's one thing for you to say, buy low, sell high. It's another thing to explain why it works. It's one thing to give people a slogan. It's another thing to explain a concept. Not just to tell them what works, but to tell them why it works. So now they understand it so they can regulate it and refine it, because every situation doesn't require necessarily the same amount of effort or pressure. So now that you understand why it works, now you can make adjustments. Do you realize just that quickly just how much you know that other people don't? One last thing. When I give you all the rules of salesmanship that I created, back when I was doing sales, it was 3 rules. The number 1 rule of salesmanship: convince the customer the decision to buy was theirs, not yours. Number 2, emphasize the positives. Now, emphasize the positives is a slogan when you get down to it. Then I tell you why. When people tell you the price is too high, don't attempt to lower your price. That becomes a race to the bottom. You destroy your profit margins. You didn't go into business, have a reasonable price, but then if they tell you the price is too high, well, Jason, what do I do next? Emphasize the value. Don't try to lower the price. Explain to them why it is worth what you're asking, which is what most people don't try to do. Now you understand why you can charge a higher price and why it works, while your other folks, your competitors, are out here trying to figure out how to lower theirs, which will eventually just become this very dirty, grimy, ugly race to the bottom. So that's the lens through which I take a look at Robert Greene's stuff. The 50th law, the one he did with 50 Cent, I actually think that's on par with 48. It really is. Really? Dude, y'all, 50 Cent is
I haven't read it, but I will now.
50 Cent is a thinker. Robert Greene didn't choose to do that book with 50 Cent because he was bored or because Master P wasn't available. He did that book with 50 because 50 can sit there and explain those philosophies to you. I've seen him do it, which is basically coincided with everything I was saying. When he said for females, he doesn't buy them shoes for them, he buys them shoes for him because she represents him when he goes in public. I said, I'll be damned. I've heard that before. When he talked about his cousin, he was like, folks don't like to see you win and they think that your success should belong to them. He said, case in point, one of my cousins, he thought because I had a record deal, I should be throwing all this stuff on him. And he's just warning. He's like, one of the things he said that I like most is when he said, everybody says they want success, but they don't want everything that comes along with success. He said, because along with success comes hating, envy, jealousy, backstabbing. That comes with success too, not just more money and power. Yeah, you get a lot of hate when you get success too. Did you want that?
I was having a conversation with my friend of mine. We was talking about women, and I was telling him about your stance on like nurses and stuff like that. And it kind of just boiled down to, a lot of these women, they don't really care for people. They just do it because they know that they can make money, and a lot of these travel nurses, I want to know the percentage of travel nurses who genuinely care for these patients. Like they would do it for free if they wasn't getting paid. And I think it's like 10%, if that. But I ended it off saying, like, with great power comes great responsibility. And that goes across all boards of things, so.
Well, like I say, man, take it as you need it. Study these things. I think they are, in Robert Greene's case, I think it's reliable.
Right.
But don't just stop there, because I don't just read books. I'm also a student of things. I put it into practice and see if it works. There's the other thing. Most folks, they exercise in theory, but they don't actually exercise in practice. 50 Cent, once again, 50th Law of Power, he explained why it is that C students do so much worse in life than A students. I mean, C students do better in the real world than A students do. And he explained it as concisely as I've ever heard anybody explain it. He said the problem with A students is that A students are conditioned to treat the world like a classroom. And C students understand that the real world is not a classroom. So all your A students, they've excelled at, well, they're A students. Yeah, they've excelled in a classroom. The classrooms have a teacher and a small group of people who can be actively monitored the whole time they're there. And that's not the way the real damn world works. There is no teacher. Hell, you barely got the government.
It's funny you say that because my last roommate that I had, I've known him damn near all my life, but he became a doctor and he ended up going to UCF for their medical program. So I'll end up intermingling with some of his peers. And one thing I noticed that lacked across all of them, like I knew that they were extremely bright in certain categories of things, but I knew that they lacked common sense because some of the stories that they would tell me, I'll be like scratching my head and I'm like, I thought y'all were the doctors here, and I'm just a truck driver, I didn't, but some of the stuff they're telling me, it's like they lack complete common sense, so.
Remember,
that's funny you say
the reason why people don't like lawyers is because one of the classes you actually should take when you become a lawyer is philosophy. And you're held to the letter of the law, not the spirit of it. Remember that, folks. You're held to the letter of the law, not the spirit of it, not the, quote, intention. You are held to what the word actually says, not how somebody feels about it or feels it should say. You're held to whatever it actually says, right, wrong, or crazy. And this is why you have tax evasion versus tax avoidance. One is a crime. The other one, you pay your CPA for. When they talk about loopholes, that just means that you have found a way to avoid paying that tax. Well, you all, one rule over here says I can write off certain types of things. Well, what if I go do this overseas? Overseas? Well, yeah, I've set up an entity overseas. Totally legal for me to do that. Okay. And then claim deductions over here in the States, domestically. I can do that. There is no law that says I can't. And all you can sit there and say, I'll be damned. He's right. There's no law that says he can't. Well, you're evading taxes. No, I'm not. I'm avoiding them. Because the law says that I'm required to pay what I must, but it doesn't require me to pay the max. I am required to pay whatever the minimum is. But you can't force me to follow the rules that will require me to pay the most. Your A students don't understand that. Your C students do. Because your A students are still adhering to those strict rules that made them A students. Whoever sucked it to the teacher most, whoever conformed to the classroom environment best, that's how you became an A student. Then you get out here in the real world and there ain't no damn rules. Or at least you find out that the rules are flexible. Nobody ever prepared you to bend the rules. You know why? Because you got an A in class and a star on the forehead for not trying to bend the rules. Did you realize that that was what you were teaching the children in that third grade class? Don't attempt to bend the rules. And then 15 years later, they enter the real world with 50 Cent. And he's out here bending rules like a son of a gun and gotten rich. And they're all talking about, well, he's not moral. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Yeah. That's what ends up happening. Nobody teaches you this when you become an A student. Nobody teaches you this when they lay down those rules. Nobody teaches you that. You didn't even realize you were doing it. You thought you were being a good student. And you were, for the set of rules that worked in that classroom. Do you realize you're no longer in that classroom anymore? Now you're out here on a street corner furiously waving your report card around, trying to see how much respect and deference you can get for that, for how many A's you earned in Miss Marley's class. And the fellows who run rings around you, the TIs, the 50 Cents, the Master P's, they didn't even graduate from school, but they were the C students who understood, by the way, there ain't no rules. And now you're an A student who has exited the classroom. You've entered the real world and you're now looking for rules to follow. You're looking for a structure to follow. Well, what the hell do you know? Off to corporate America you go. Off to some hierarchy job you go. And you can get all the damn rules you can swallow. You just get none of the freedom and none of the upward mobility. Some of these guys think they're free with $200,000 a year. I'm not saying that that's bad. It certainly isn't. I just wonder if that's the most you could have done. I just wonder if that's the most you could have done and if that's the best you could have done. Now, I don't see Talia here on Zoom. So, not really sure where Talia is. But Talia is not here on Zoom. We're looking for you. So, I'll give Talia another couple of minutes here, and then Talia's going on a permanent vacation. So, waiting for Talia here to come educate us about how down on the sisters we is. Because we need to certainly be educated about that. On tonight's program, for those of you who are joining us late here, and I imagine the visuals on your screen have you saying, what in the hell is that? Well, the young lady on the screen there is Dank Demosh. She's 500 pounds of pressure. She's made headlines for filing this lawsuit against Lyft because the Lyft driver and his little Mercedes was afraid to let her in. He was afraid of what would happen if this occurred with her getting in his car. By the way, that's another issue right there. By the way, that says a whole lot. Imagine if this happened while she was trying to get in the car. Imagine that. Imagine if that occurred while she was trying to get in the car. She'd be saying it's his fault. She'd be saying it's Lyft's fault. She would be, we're going to end up here no matter what. We're going to end up here no matter what. If anything happens, she's going to swear up and down. The car. The car did it. Everything was fine until that happened. Everything was great until that occurred. So, yeah, I just wanted to give you all the details about the case you didn't have there before. She said that she called the Lyft. That was the thing I wanted to know, was where was she going? And according to her, on January 18th, she was going to catch a Lyft to go see a football watch party at her cousin's house. She was going to a football watch party. Okay. I'll let you all go ahead and contemplate and ponder that and see what you think of it. I'll let you all go ahead and do that. In the meantime here, I don't see Talia, so apparently Talia has declined our generous invitation. So, here's the thing, folks. I do not have any issue whatsoever with people disputing me. I only have an issue with two things. One thing, really, trolling. If you have a dispute with me, the chat room is not the place to do it. And when you make statements like, the brothers is hating on the sisters again, it's like, okay, we need to have some explanation of that. We need you to explain that. Can you feel me? We need you to go ahead and give some details about what exactly it is that's going on that shouldn't be. And the great thing about the internet and the way we do things here is that it gives us the ability to address these things directly. So if somebody says something like that, we can immediately go ahead and have a conversation here, and we can go ahead and discuss that. So if somebody does have a dispute or an objection, well, then the place to do that is on Zoom. The only thing that required is you don't try to troll. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. But however, if you say something like that, it's like, oh, no. You're not going to sit in the chat room and be saying that and saying crazy stuff. I want folks to hear what you got to say, and you can explain it to them. And then they will determine whether or not you're credible. And that's the way that should be. They should have the ability to determine if you're credible or not. And if they decide that you are, good. And if they determine that you're not, well, you had your opportunity to make your case. So, looks like Talia has declined our generous invitation. So, Talia, you had your chance to go ahead and correct that. Big lesson here today, big learning curve. Ladies, team reflects leadership. If the woman ain't hot, don't expect the man to be. Men need motivation. That can be a difficult pill to swallow too, by the way, ladies. Please understand, if you ain't hot, come on now. Stop the foolishness, stop the nonsense. Take a look at the chicks around you. You know it ain't right. Even if everybody else around you is messed up, be the one who isn't. Even if everybody else around you is screwed off, be the one who isn't. That's the moral of this story. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here tonight. If you are new here to the business, welcome to the program that all your favorite YouTubers love to hate watch. Click that red subscribe button. Click that yellow notification bell. Join us each and every time that we're here. If you haven't been to our Patreon, the link is in the description. Yes, we're going to do a follow-up on last week. Quiet. We'll probably have a follow-up on last week, and I'll give you all an update. I'll see about giving you all an update. Gonna have a little bit of a follow-up on last week. I'd like to thank everyone, and I do mean everybody who has contributed to tonight's program on PayPal, Super Chat, Venmo, IV Holistic, Real Books, Low Key, Doc Spencer, everybody else here. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you very much for your support. We appreciate that. Also here to Clinton. Thank you very much for your support as well. If you are new here to the business, by the way, I've received all of my sound clips. I've received the sound clips here. We're probably going to go over those next week. So I'm looking at going over those next week. Sandra, good grief. Sandra kind of buried me. I might have to choose her top 5. Sandra buried me in sound clips there. So I know y'all lived it there. Next week, I'm probably going to go ahead and pick a couple of them this weekend, probably pick a couple of them. But then after that, we got a few others I want to cover. I'm going to cover those here probably next Friday. We're going to go ahead and cover that. And we will go ahead and select who's going to get added to the soundboard here. So I look forward to seeing how that goes. That'll be interesting. Until then, I'd like to thank all of you for tuning in to tonight's program, live or recorded. I'd like to thank all of you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of The Business. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, Mr. Jason Black. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, handle your business or your business will handle you.